Welcome to the third episode of What's the Deal with Adam and Neil. I'm Adam.
And I'm Neil.
Today we have a great show for you. Thanks for joining us. There's so much to cover. We're going to address deep questions like how does Neil like his eggs? And what is the recent update with Legacy Church? And also we're going to talk about some biblical principles to ground ourselves in the midst of fear. So this morning, I'm going to start off. I'm enjoying coffee from my Luray Caverns cup. Have you ever been to Luray Caverns?
I've been to Luray Caverns.
Yeah, what'd you think of it? You're a local.
It's pretty cool.
Who grew up here forever.
Yeah, so. It was crazy. I went as a kid on a field trip. I used to always go, so my brother is a year older than me. Mm-hmm. I used to go on his field trips, and then when my field trips rolled around, I would just go fishing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, so it's a cool place, Luray Caverns.
Yeah, I thought it was impressive. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, this is a bunker. Holy cow. All these people who are going to be stuck in like a little, shipping container and with a bed in it. I'm like, you should go to Luray Caverns.
Luray Caverns.
You'd have so much room. Yeah. You can play football down there. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, Neil, tell us about a Facebook group that everyone in Greene County should join.
Yeah, so there's a group that somebody made called Greene Helping Greene. So if you guys haven't heard about it, go on Facebook and check it out. I think we have a little snapshot to show you of what that looks like. It's an awesome resource for us in the community because it not only provides an avenue for people who are in need of some food or some sort of help during this time, during the virus season, but it also gives us an opportunity to serve. So a lot of people are posting on there like, hey, my dad is sick. I really need some help getting whatever, Lysol or really need some food. And this is a place where you can do some like drop-off delivery. So if you have resources to some sort of food or whatever it is, you're able to just pick it up, leave it on their doorstep, and serve in that way. And there's different ways you can sign up to serve on that page, and it's a pretty cool opportunity for us as a community, not just our church, not just Legacy Church, but as a community to be able to serve one another. So if whoever created this page, if you're listening, thank you for creating that, and for all of you who are watching, go check it out. It's a pretty cool opportunity for us.
Yeah, makes me wish I was a drone pilot and I could deliver things to people by drone.
That's true.
With a little note that says praying for you.
Yeah.
Pastor
Although
Adam.
if I saw a drone come into my house, I'd probably shoot it.
Yeah.
So
you and everyone else around here.
And then I'd say praying for you.
Like, oops. That was from the pastor at Legacy. Not a creeper. Yep. All right. Well, hey, we want to also update you as a church family. If you're part of the Legacy family, our church will not be meeting this Sunday in the school, which has been known. Mm-hmm. Also, our church won't be meeting in our groups in any formal capacity because we need to keep our groups or our gatherings under 10 people. And so since we're in Greene County and everyone has 10 children, that doesn't work to gather as groups unless you were to somebody was on one side of your property and somebody is 100 acres on the other side, or whatever the distance is. I don't think there's parameters because people would just get weird on the federal questions, Can we be in one room versus the other and all that kind of stuff. But let's just respect the general recommendation and or mandate, depending on how you're reading all that, and let's not gather in our groups for that reason. Obviously, if you need to interact or reach out to us, let us know. We're going to do as much as we can digitally with all of you, but that doesn't mean we cannot meet up or talk face-to-face at all. We'll just use our wisdom to discern what to do there. For me, the hardest part about this is that I'm going to be very cautious to meet up with those who might be older, because I would hate to be carrying this and then unintentionally pass it on to somebody else in our church and be the reason that they're going to see Jesus face to face. Yeah. So that's a challenge. Yeah. But nonetheless, okay.
In future episodes, I'm going to create a barrier so that I socially isolate myself from Adam.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you can't see it, but there is a fiberglass wall. So, I didn't have breakfast this morning, so I was thinking we should taste test the mystery flavor of Pop-Tart.
What Do you even have any idea of what a mystery flavor is?
Well, I just don't know what the flavor is.
Is it like a known thing? Like
no, I know. I just don't. There's no. You know, Pop-Tart, they don't have a.
Okay, so
they don't label these things, right? They just say Pop-Tart. It's pretty genius on their part.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I have no idea, and I'm not going to look at the sprinkles because that's the giveaway.
That's true. Yeah, we're gonna try to decide.
Oops, I looked at them. That looks like strawberry.
Don't touch mine. Yeah.
I know. Uh-oh. How are we supposed to do this? Don't touch my Pop-Tart. You got the virus. All right.
There we go. All right.
That looks very strawberry-esque.
Do you like Pop-Tarts?
I haven't had a Pop-Tart in years.
Yeah.
I know it makes me sound old, but it's been like 10 years.
It looks like a, it looks like something that, it's like somebody made it, and then it's just like
Forgot
stuck.
about it.
Yeah. like they're, we improve things like the Snickers bar.
Oh, yeah.
Reese's, like we improve things, but the Pop-Tart is just like, it's been the same since like 1947.
Yeah, this definitely hasn't changed in decades.
Yeah.
Whenever this was invented. The machine is probably from the 80s too.
Yeah, I don't know if I like Pop-Tarts.
I don't know either. Watch out, man.
They break, see, that's part of the problem. They break apart.
It's because we didn't toast it first.
That's true. You guys like your Pop-Tarts
It definitely
toasted?
tastes different toasted.
It's like you can taste the fakeness of it.
Yeah, I feel like
that
if
isn't-
aliens came to our church or to Earth, and we have a visitor. I feel like if aliens visited, they would see this and think, how are these people on Earth still alive?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to put any more of that in my body.
Go get a Pop-Tart. Well, don't go to the store.
So, eat whatever Pop-Tart you have in your cabinet. It's probably been there for
Since
years
1947.
and still good. Okay. So, speaking of challenging our bodies with the most rigorous physical feats by eating a Pop-Tart, Neil, if you were in the Olympics this summer, what sport would you prefer to do?
That's a good question. So you're talking Summer Olympics, not winter. Because winter, no doubt, curling.
Yes.
Easy. I could do that now.
Yeah.
No
Like these
training.
curl.
No, like, the thing where
Yeah,
you...
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Scrub it.
Yeah.
So Summer Olympics...
Curls get the girls. That's what they say in Canada when they're doing this.
Girls get... That's funny. Use that if you live in Canada.
Yeah.
I would say probably... Well, okay. Is archery an Olympic sport? I don't remember.
Shooting is. Yeah, I think archery is.
Because that would be like a natural, like I love archery in general. But I would say if I was to just like do something new, or if I wanted to be like the world's best at just like a random thing, I'd probably say like pole vaulting. Because those dudes fly in the air.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's just something like you're like defying gravity with this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like one day somebody just had a really big stick and was like, let me see how far I can jump with this stick. So, and then it just like got more and more serious as technology advanced.
It's a very practical sport. Some of these sports you wonder, how did it come to be?
Yeah.
But the pole vault makes sense.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, I need to get up on that wall.
What
I
better way
gotta
to do it?
use a giant fiberglass pole. And this is practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. It was before the days of ladders.
Probably. People were flinging themselves up on top of buildings.
Yep.
Well, good. Good to know that you are an aspiring pole vaulter.
Pole vaulter. If you look out, Olympics 2040, I'm coming for you.
You know, you mentioned archery, though. I have thought of all the sports, that's probably one of the ones that you should get into for Olympics, because you could do that till you're like 70. Like, you could be like a crusty old guy.
That's true.
Launching bullseye targets.
Yeah.
Or the rifles and all that stuff, because you'd have you don't. It's not running. You know, like that. Very limited window. Of physical ability and recovery time and all.
You don't have to retire. Like.
Wouldn't it be funny? Like Olympics, it's like this, just super old guy, and they're like, "What does he do?" Like, he just rifle. He wins every year. This guy.
Same guy every year.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. To transition our time right now, I have for us a quote by C.S. Lewis. Do you know what C.S. stands for?
Charles Stanley.
Close. First name's Clive. Very, very British.
That was my second guess.
And middle name, sounds really bizarre to us, is Staples. Yeah. Clive Staples Lewis.
You think that's where the name Staples came from?
Yeah, I think he started Staples. He's like, not only am I a writer, but I am a retail guy for paper.
Yeah.
And
that
Staples.
Makes sense. Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how Staples got started, and they're like, all right, here's our inventory. Which one of these items do we want to describe our store with? Let's pick the cheapest, simplest, dumbest little item we sell.
Yeah.
A staple.
A staple. Like they could have gone with like
paperclip.
Papers. Yeah.
Or papers.
Or printers.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Ink.
But they went with staples.
Staples. Well, but they're still in business, unlike everyone else in their industry. So.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, C.S. Lewis, he says this. I really enjoy this quote. He wrote this in 1948. If you're unfamiliar with history, just type in 1948 in Google and find out why he wrote this. He says, in one way, we think a great deal too much of the atomic bomb. We ask, how are we to live in an atomic age? I'm tempted to reply, well, as you would have lived in the 16th century when the plague visited London almost every year, or as you would have lived in a Viking age when raiders from Scandinavia might land and cut your throat any night. He just went there. Or indeed, as you are already living in an age of cancer, an age of syphilis, an age of paralysis, an age of air raids, an age of railway accidents, an age of motor accidents. In other words, do not let us begin by exaggerating the novelty of our situation. Believe me, dear sir or madam, I don't use those phrases anymore. You and all whom you love were already sentenced to death before the atomic bomb was invented, and quite a high percentage of us were going to die in unpleasant ways. We had indeed one very great advantage over our ancestors, anesthetics. But we have that still. It is perfectly ridiculous to go about whimpering and drawing long faces because the scientists have added one more chance of painful and premature death to a world which already bristled with such chances and in which death itself was not a chance at all, but a certainty. This is the first point to be made, and the action to be taken is to pull ourselves together. If we are all going to be destroyed by an atomic bomb, let that bomb, when it comes, find us doing sensible and human things, praying and working and teaching and reading and listening to music, bathing to the children, playing tennis, chatting to our friends over a pint, and a game of darts. That's funny, a game of darts. Not huddled together, frightened like sheep, thinking about bombs. They may break our bodies. A microbe can do that, but they need not dominate our minds. That's a lengthy quote. You can check that out if you want to rehear that. Just type in "On Living in the Atomic Age" by C.S. Lewis. But with that in mind, what's that draw your attention to?
It kind of reminds me of the verse in Philippians 4, 6, and 7. It says this. I have it written down here. It says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God which surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Yeah. And that was a verse that really, for me, kind of carried me through a season of pain. And when I lost my mom a couple of years ago, it was a verse that really stood out as like, it was just something that carried me through in the sense of like as a follower of Christ, there's going to be uncertain times. I mean, we're living in one right now. That season was especially one for me and my family. But there's this overwhelming sense of peace and comfort that comes through following Christ that can't be gained from any other thing. I mean, a lot of people try to fill that gap with the world, different things in the world.
Sure.
But that gap can only be filled in its truest form through the peace that comes only through Christ. And so this verse was something that I held on to during that season. And
That's good.
I mean, I think it's something for us during this season to hold on to is like, hey, don't worry. I mean, it's easier said than done, but at the end of the day, our peace comes from Him alone. So
yeah, and that peace guards us every day.
Yeah.
Whether our circumstances are trying or tumultuous, or whether the circumstances are normal and just I don't know, placid. That comes to mind for some reason.
Sure.
So yeah,
definitely.
Well, good.
Well, as we're kind of finishing up here, I want to go into a segment called "Get to Know Your Pastor." There's a lot of people in the church who hear you on Sundays.
Sure.
They might see you randomly throughout the week in kind of like a work setting, but I want people to understand the true Adam. Do you have anything to say about the true Adam?
The true Adam.
Yeah.
I don't even know the true Adam, I think, if we're honest. Let's see here. Like, things I might do.
Well, let me ask you a couple questions.
Okay, that'll help me.
Yeah, I'll give you some parameters.
I don't even know what to do with that.
First,
I am a person.
So how about this? When you're not like working in the office or wherever you work, when you're not preaching, when all like work stuff is set aside, what do you do? I mean, are you always reading your Bible?
No, I'm not. But so what am I doing? I'm not in the office, or I'm not meeting with people or in groups or something. A lot of what I do is spending time with our kids. So since having them, that has filled my after work hours quite fully.
Sure.
So we play all the time, and now Atlas has just started walking this week, and so we're able to have more fun there. And she plays with Ro, and we just kind of mess around in the living room all the time. It feels like there's always a project to be doing at the house, or a chore to be doing. So we're tackling those things when we need to, and so it's a lot of that. I do like to read. I also really like well-written movies, or ones that are like with good cinematography.
Like Armageddon.
Like Armageddon. Well, that's a very quotable movie. I read this stat, or it's trivia, and I don't know if it's true, but it sounds like it is. And it's something like NASA astronauts watch that movie to point out all the things that are wrong with it, to teach themselves like what does not happen when they're going to space.
That's funny.
And apparently there's over 200 something errors that are just not even close to what an astronaut does.
It makes sense. I mean, written by Hollywood.
Yeah, and even more so, just the way it's played out.
Sure.
You got Aerosmith playing in the background. So not that one, but there's others. I really enjoy. I enjoy that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. Yeah. Well, on the note of your kids, how about this? Your kids are named Roman and Atlas.
Yes.
Where did you get those names
That's
from?
a good question, because they're unique. We don't know another. Well, I should say this: we didn't know of another baby named Atlas that was a girl until some girl that's like a pseudo celebrity, like used to be on some show when we were kids. She just had a daughter, named her Atlas. So we thought, hey, good, that's good enough. So we have our son, firstborn, his name Roman. With that, our heart really landed with when we found out Lynn was pregnant. We wanted to dedicate our child to the Lord, and even at that stage, the verse that caught our attention right off the bat was Romans 4, 19, 20, 21, all that section. It's talking about Abraham and his faith and how it didn't waver, even though it could have, even should have, but he was steadfast, and it says he grew in his faith. And so I find the promise there in who Abraham was just really stand out. So we didn't want to name Roman Abraham or Abe, although I'm totally down with that. But Roman really stood out. Yeah. So we went with Roman. Coincidentally, we didn't know anyone named Roman. It was like after we named him, we found out a couple other pastors. One I know of, one I personally know. They named their sons Roman, which was super funny. And then everyone who's like older than me mentions this quarterback that was named Roman. I'm like, I have no idea who that guy was. But there was some guy who played, I think, for the Rams named Roman. So
talking about Tony Romo.
Something like that. Yeah. And, that's what I need to say. Yeah, I'll use that next time. So that was Ro. And then with Atlas, we our heart was really burdened. We were actually traveling, and we came across all these different references to the world and Atlas and travel and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, with that, the Lord really burdened on our heart this idea of His love for the world and how He wants to make His love known to the world. And so we're like, well, we don't want to name our daughter World. That just sounds weird. Or Map, or Earth. Like maybe Terra, right? Like the Latin word, I think it's Latin for Earth or something. Now, so we stuck with Atlas, and that really stuck out to us. And then her middle name is Everest Grace, and for us, that resonates with the idea of God's grace being just displayed to the world from the highest point to everything else. And so that's why we named her Atlas.
Wow. Okay. Well, how about this last question? Where did you meet Lynn?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's rumors. No, I'm kidding. There's no rumors.
Where could it have been? We were 18. We were at Liberty, very first day at college. Wow. We were playing volleyball in with a group of friends.
Yeah.
And so I met her, and that's how I met this girl named Lynn.
On the volleyball court. Sand or grass?
It was sand, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. It's kind of solidifying to your relationship.
Yes. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, we met on sand. But when you forge sand, it becomes like glass. Oh, that's not good either for a relationship. Our relationship's founded on glass. Okay. It's very breakable. Very strong glass.
Yeah, strong.
Bulletproof glass.
Yeah, it's like the glass that the Pope uses in the Pope-mobile.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like where we're going. Well, hey, we have an epic delivery of food outside. We need to bring it inside. So we're going to get all this food from the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank inside here. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow on What's the Deal?
With Adam and Neil.
See ya.